All right, we are back to long division, and for this one, we are going to start dividing by 2 digits, which is new this year. Hopefully the 1 digits at least rang a bell from last year, was at least a little familiar, but this will be all new. This is a 5th grade standard, dividing by 2 digits. So your assignment today is pretty short and sweet. So I'm going to just pick some other problems to do as examples. So we might have something like 65 divided by 16. Now, I'm going to write that in the little house. Sometimes they'll write it like this, and then you have to put it into the little house in order to be able to do it. So I'm going to actually just do the standard way for this. So we can't look at a multiplication chart. We're going to need to know our multiples of 16. Now, I can just sort of guess randomly, but a lot of students find it helpful to write out the multiples first. So I'm going to write out the multiples of the divisor. 16, I'm going to add on another 16 and get 32. Okay, if I need to add on another 16, then I get 48. Okay, and this might seem like a lot of work, but doing it ahead of time will actually make things a little easier. I like to also circle the actual multiples so that I don't get them mixed up with all the other numbers I'm writing. I have 80. Sometimes you don't have to write them all to start with. You can just write 5 or 6 of them. And then if you need to write more, you can always come back and do that. So I have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and 6th multiple written down. So I'm going to do my same steps. How many times does 16 go into 6? Well, it does not. So how many times does 16 go into 65? Well, if I look down my chart, I can see, okay, 64 is really close, but not bigger. So then I know it goes in 4 times. Now I'm going to multiply. 4 times 16 is 64. And notice I already have that multiplication done. By writing out the multiples, I've saved time so I don't have to do that multiply step. Then I subtract. 65 minus 64 is 1. Bring down, well, I have nothing to bring down because it is just 2 digits. So my answer is just for remainder 1. All right. Now, I can do the partial quotients this way, just like I did before. It just gets a little trickier because it's not like I can do a group of 10 or a group of 100 because there was only 4 in there. Sometimes when we get to bigger numbers, you can use the partial quotients method a little easier, but essentially we're doing sort of the last step, just figuring out that little extra bit. Let me do another example. So I have, we'll do 98 divided by 14. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to write it. Sorry, I realized I need more space. 98 divided by 14. I'm going to start by writing the multiples of 14 because I'll need to know those. 28 plus 14. Now, if you would rather do like 28 times 2, or 14 times 2, 14 times 3, 14 times 4, and figure them out that way, that is another option. Some students more students I've found like to do it this way, so that's why I showed this way. But if you'd rather say, okay, that was the third one, now I want to do 14 times 4, 16, 4, 5, the fifth or fourth one. Now I have 14 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20, 70. Now maybe I do 14 times 6. You can do this one the lattice way. Either way is fine. Okay, so that's times 6. And I'm not even quite there yet, so that's why I am still going. Lattice method, maybe you use the window method, also fine. All right. Oh, look at that. I ended up with a number right on accidentally. So I can ask myself how many times it goes in. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. 7 times 14 is 98. Subtract, I get 0. So in this case, I have no remainder. My answer is just 7. Okay, I know it's getting over 5 minutes. If you want to go try it by yourself, you can. I am going to do one more example for you. I'm going to do, sorry, I'm just thinking. So I'm going to do 71 divided by 12. 71 divided by 12. Again, I need a little more space because I write so big. Okay, it can help to draw this line here even if we're not doing partial quotients. Because if I was doing partial quotients, I need to say, okay, 12 times what do I know? Well, I might not know my multiples of 12, so I might have to write the multiples of 12 out anyway. This one you probably could find on a multiplication chart. I'm just going to write them out for you on this one. 48, 60, 72, 84, 96. Okay. So, how many times does 12 go into 7? It doesn't. It's too big. It doesn't fit. Then how many times does 12 go into 71? Well, I can look at my list. If I pick one that's too small, it's like I could fit more in. So I want to get as close as I can without going over. 72 is too big, so I have to go back to 60. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it goes in. Now we need to multiply. 5 times 12 is 60. Again, I know that because I wrote it right there. Now I need to subtract. 71 minus 60 is 11. Bring down. Well, I have nothing to bring down. Also note, if the number I wrote here was bigger than 12, I wouldn't be done yet. But it is smaller, so we are good. We just have remainder 11. Now, some of you might look and say, 5 remainder 11, how is my remainder bigger than the regular part of my answer, my quotient? That's fine. It happens, especially when we have 2 divided by 2 digits. We'll get really small quotients, and sometimes we'll get big remainders. Actually, anytime we divide by 2 digits, that can happen. So just beware that that is normal. That happens. If your remainder was bigger than your divisor, that would be a problem. But as long as it is smaller, we are okay. All right. If you need yet more examples, that is fine. Just ask me for more help, and I can either send you a video or you can jump onto a Google Meet and we can do it that way. Good luck. You can do it.